Okay, how about your recitation, Buddha recitation this morning? Is it good? Did we recite well? Yes, okay. I remember like when I started coming to practice the Dharma, Pure Land Dharma door with Master Yongho. I came to Lu Mountain Temple first, and then at that time I recite Amitabha Sutra. It's very difficult for me to recite at that time. The first thing is I didn't know any pinyin at all at that time. Yes, just no Vietnamese recite in Vietnamese I did before, but no, not pinyin. And the second thing is the description in about the Pure Land in the sutra is not familiar to me at all. It's very difficult to make a connection. So we just follow the assembly and recite like a machine. I think a machine even better because machine just do it, but we do with our distracted mind to other things. So it was very difficult. But I think I keep doing that and reciting Buddha's, Amitabha Buddha's name too. And recently, and one more thing I remember that when I shaved my hair and become a novice there, and we do evening ceremony every day. So we do one day is Amitabha Sutra recitation. The other day is about 88 Buddha repentance. So my attachment to music is the Buddha recitation, repentance is more, the melodies sound nicer, and preferably the 88 Buddha recitation I like more, honestly, at that time. But I keep reciting, still do like everyday routine like that, and so I feel I like the Amitabha Buddha recitation, sutra recitation more and more and more, until nowadays I feel like missing if I don't recite, and I feel the sweetness of reciting Amitabha Sutra. So I found it very like you bow to the Buddha, and so it has something, the connection in your heart. So I feel very good to recite Amitabha Sutra. So nowadays come to the Pure Land Dharma Assembly, it's like feel like I'm have blessing to come to that assembly. So does anyone have any same experience like that? How do you experience with how are you experience with Dharma, Pure Land Dharma door? Anyone want to say? Yeah, number one, please.
Good morning, Master Z. I have a question for you. I don't really have a personal comment, but I was wondering if you could talk a little bit about your experience with the Pure Land Dharma door, please.
Okay. Oh, it's a long story. Today not for my experience, right? I just talk about it. Okay, I talk about Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. I started reciting Buddha Amitabha Buddha's name a very long, quite a long time ago since I started knowing Buddhism. So I follow my lay master in Vietnam, and most at that time I don't know much about Buddhism, but he practices like our Master Yong Ho nowadays also practice meditation and Pure Land at the same time, but like it's more focused on the meditation practice more than Pure Land. I think just Pure Land is just about, I think the master, my late master, just told me just recite Amitabha's name. That's it. No 4G at that time, or even Pure Land Dharma Assembly, no. And even like the 49 days for the passing away people, no Amitabha recitation. It's just that time is also Bodhisattva Sutra. Yeah, that in Vietnam. So I didn't practice much about Pure Land at that time. Yeah, so then I have the chance to know our Master Yong Ho, and then was a lay person. Yeah, I talked about at Go Forest, like I think last week, about my experience to see Master conduct the first Pure Land Dharma Assembly at a funeral home. So I was touched by that time. So by the sincerity and his performance then. So I feel very touched, and then I feel the connection by a live person than just what I heard from the sutra. Yeah. So I believe that even we read a lot of sutra, we heard a lot of good things about the Pure Land or even meditation, but a real person, a live person, can help bring the connection between us and the Dharma doors. So that's just one experience, and then my wife passed away, and then at that time I still not really strong belief in the Pure Land Dharma door. After I know Master at that time already, but she passed away, and my family members, my sister and brother also request 49 blacks for my wife, and then she during the process 49 days. So one day, I think that at that time maybe in the fifth week. So there's some different side, because our Vietnamese tradition is that we, after passing people, we have a passing people, so we have a little altar for that person in the house, at least during the 49 days. Number 8, please. Yeah, please.
Emitofuo, Master. I had a question about, I have a roommate that has depression, and my question is, does that attract ghosts into the apartment or to where you live that obstructs Buddhist practices? So I'm thinking about moving out, and I do have an attachment to living there because I've been there for 10 years. So can anybody maybe give some feedback? And I know like everybody doesn't live with people that practice Buddhism, and maybe have to live with somebody with depression or something like that. So what do you guys think?
Is that the question, right? Just a comment.
The question is, my roommate has depression. Should I move out because I think that's bringing ghosts into where we live?
So the persons move out, and then the roommates move out, right?
He's comfortable where he's at, so I was thinking I can move out.
So what is to do with our Dharma recitation, or just?
Yeah, I'm sorry, that's off topic, but I have to leave. I apologize. I go to work at 10, and I apologize. That's off topic. So.
Sorry, Master. Good morning, Masters. Yeah. So he has a roommate living with him right now.
Okay.
And the roommate had depressions. So his question is, if the person has depression, should he move out because he's afraid of bringing ghosts to the house? Is that correct? Yeah. That's the question. Should he move out of the house because his practice? He could be afraid of the depression of the other person affecting his practice.
I see. Thank you. Sorry, my bad English. Yes. Oh, so anyone have any ideas about that? Though, we all live in the perfect environment, right? There are no depressed people around us. Just all happy people. So we only have one have the same condition, same situation. Oh, number 7, please.
I don't think we can tell you to move out or not, but I know that when they're depressed, it's draining. So you'll have to decide if it's good for you or not.
Yeah. Oh, Iki, you want to? Oh, yes.
It's probably draining when you have to interact with somebody more than. But what if it's not like I see him a lot, but he lives there and he doesn't even really work, so he's there. Does that energy, because he's bringing like a dark energy.
Yes.
So
okay. Yeah, it's Vicky, please speak.
What a unique situation. It's almost like you got a gift, came right into your house to force you to do something about your cultivation. I mean, you could run and hide. You could take off and try and find a place where there are no depressed people. But, life's not like that. So, have you noticed it's affected you already? Have you noticed there's a problem?
Yes, with more, especially with more cultivation, I see more good energy with me, and then I can tell the difference between energy and other people. So yeah. And I know a couple years ago I had the same kind of problem, and I asked the Buddha and Venerable Savali for like my roommate that could, pay the rent, and then here we are. And now the roommate's got some depression, so there's always something, So, like you said, it's a gift, it's a challenge in life.
Okay, thank you. Anna, would you like to speak? Yes, number 9, please.
I think that I'm gonna take what Vicky said, because I understand that I also have some sort of obstruction coming to my house. And it might be just my problem to resolve it. It might not be that other person that comes into my house. So I'm thinking that probably I'm the one who needs I'm also need some sort of instruction of how to deal with this matter. So it's easy to say, oh, maybe you have to work on it, and this is probably your blessing, but I don't see how to work in order to make it, in order to read of it, or in order to embrace it, or in order to accept it and just move on. So I think I'm sort of understanding how you feel into, because I feel obstructed and I can't sit down and meditate, or I don't find in my mind the time to do it.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Thank you, Anna. Oh, okay. Seat number 2, please.
Yes, Masters. According to Malcolm's question, I also want to share my experience. I used to live with I'm still living with my brothers, and there's time in his life he facing hardship, and then he falls into depressions. And the time that's before we practice any meditation and reciting Buddha, I'm sorry, I facing hardship how to deal with the situation as well, because I don't know what to do with him, because he has no jobs, he stay home and just play games, and I think it's fortunately for me, like, I don't get into fighting with him. I just keep doing what I do, and luckily, like, after maybe 3-4 years, it's a really tough time for him, and then he finally out of it. So what my experience is just focus on what I am doing, and in a way praying, or like Malcolm have right now is a community that is here to cultivate with him and try to raise his energies. I cannot tell you that you should move out or not. It will be like Venerable Sensei say that you have to decide when will be the right time to make your decision. And I think through meditation you would make the right decisions.
Yeah. Thank you. That the advice is very sound. So I don't think I have any better advice for that. That's all from our long time practice of meditation. You want to speak? Yeah. Number 2, please.
I want to share my experience also, because I think like my environment before I actually learned about Buddhism, before I know Master Yonghua, most of my family members, they always have depression, anger. I always deal with it. Usually I will react into the anger. When they anger, I'm kind of like fight back. Mm-hmm. But because they are family, so they are the lowest one. So I have no other choice but live with them. I cannot run away from them. So, but I think because know about Master Yonghua and start meditation, I feel like later on when I have better positive energy, I feel like I'm more calm when I talk to them. So, I think I just have to try to improve myself every day. That's what my decision I will improve myself so I can handle better when I'm talk to my family. Mm-hmm. So that's it.
Okay. Yes, that is very practical. Yeah, I think this in accordance with our master teaching, we need to see ourselves first, then control ourselves, and then we have a better look toward other people. So I think that is the, if you value our practice, that is to help reduce our affliction. So it's a good chance to practice. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I understand that as far you practice, you are more sensitive with people around you and you recognize their problem more easier, but it should be the better chance for us to practice. Yeah, Malcolm, please speak. Number 8.
Master, that leads to my problem where I can recognize what my problem is I judge people. So that's something that I do every day, and it's but I can, you know how when you get better at cultivation and then you can know what your faults are. So that's my fault and something I got to work on. And I notice when I can sit longer, then I judge him less, and that's good. So. But then, let's see what you said about your family. This is the Americans' perspective. Some Americans do run away from their families if they have anger and depression. And like I'm the case where I left my family and I didn't talk to them for like 10 years. I didn't see them like 8 years, you know. And I forgave them, but sometimes it's better just to get away from destructive kind of environment too, because some environments are so crazy that you can't sit in full lotus because cops are coming. You know, that's how I grew up. So.
Yes, I agree with that. When I remember when I was a lay person, remember the first thing when I wake up in the morning, I look around and my mind start judging the environment already. So that's very terrible. It's very heavy when we look around. This is not in order, not arranged well, and look at other people and see. Therefore, even they are our family member. We start doing that in the morning already. So it's kind of very. I think it's habit energy. We tend to do it all the time. And I remember Master have one Dharma talk a long time ago. Master specifically talk about that. Master said that I have no sympathy for those kind of people who judge people. Since that, that is very strong. So I try to be able to recognize those kind of thoughts and don't let them affect us. Yeah, so I think that's a good chance for you to practice, Malcolm. Thank you. Number 7.
From T.S. Geppetto, I live with a depressed person. It would drain me double or triple your sitting and become stronger, and the effect lessens. Even at times, it is as if your cultivation progress helps squeeze out the depression out of the other person, gives some relief, so in some way you can help them a little to be better yourself. From Diego, Emitofuo Master Z, I think Malcolm should consider if he living there is helping his roommate, because it's not about us, it's about helping them through our cultivation, and I'm sure the roommate is better when Malcolm is there than if he leaves.
Yes, and thank you for the comments and advice for Malcolm. And it's not easy to do at all, but we have no other choices. Otherwise, I feel us like sinking more in the thought of judging other people. So, anyone want to say more about that topic? So if not, I can return to my. Sorry to finish that. Yes. So it's about the passing of my wife, and she, on the 5th week of passing, then like in early morning on that day after I spread the remain, the ash in the river. That's her wish when she was still alive. I spread the remain in a river in Albuquerque, New Mexico. I was there. So after spreading the next day, so in the morning, and I didn't sleep that time. I half sleep, half not. Still, the mind is still awake that time. So I smell a different scent, fragrance. I never smelled before. So it's very like special smell, and it's very, I cannot find any similar smell in the environment. I never smelled before. So I wonder why. So I feel something different. So I go from my room to her altar. So when I was walking near to her altar, the smell is stronger and stronger. And I look around, I have some flower on the altar, you know. So, but it's not same with the fragrance of the flowers. Yeah. So that moment I had some kind of, I'm not sure it's vision or not, but feel like of her return to the apartment where I stay and to say goodbye and to leave. Yeah, so that experience, I believe she went to the Pure Land on that day because it's a very auspicious appearance of the smell. I heard about that before. I heard about people who go to the Pure Land and leave some good smell. That's why I know. Otherwise, there's no way to know that, to make the connection between the smell and the rebirth in the Pure Land. So that, yeah. So it's kind of it strengthened the faith in me about the Pure Land. Yes. So that is about your question. That's all short of it. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, actually, it's a little bit longer. So another part is still about my wife too. And I heard because after the 49 day, and we still have her altar, still keep her altar in the house, and then on one day I put an incense on her altar, and I feel that she came to the apartment again. I don't know how, but I talked to Master Yong Ho about that. So Master said maybe Amitabha Buddha let her come back and visit you. But I feel that the energy is not like a woman before. So like a man, the yang energy. So it's matched with the teaching of the Buddhist. Amitabha Buddha in the Pure Land, we don't have the women there. So it's kind of matching. So it strengthens more of the faith in the Pure Land. Yeah. Yeah, thank you for asking me, so I have a chance to share. Anyone have any question, any thoughts to share? We're all so quiet. Yeah, to me, reciting, I ask a lot of people to, while you, DTT have a question? Yes, please speak.
Good morning, Master Z. I have a question.
Yes, please.
Our loved ones to the Pure Land, can they come back and forth freely? Like, is there like a train or a plane or something similar?
Oh, no, sorry. I need to clarify who you to talk to about specific person.
No, not a specific person.
Okay.
Just a general question out of curiosity.
You mean from the Pure Land and go back to here? And go back and forth?
Let's say if we send a loved one to the Pure Lands, do they have the ability to come back and visit their family members freely whenever they want? Or are they kind of stuck there?
Oh, I see. Thank you. I understand the question. Yeah. Anyone have any clues about that? Yes, I don't really know because I don't know that much. Yeah, just the story of my wife before. It's just my own experience. It's not about a vision, so I can see it's happened to other people. So I don't know, but I heard that from in the sutra, right? It's in the sutra that said that if you can have a rebirth in the Pure Land, and you will have a chance to ask. After you come there, you can have a chance to ask Amitabha Buddha to go anywhere you want to. That's what I heard. Yeah. So also our Master Yonghua still advised the same thing. Just go there and see, and then you can decide where you go later. Yeah. That I think hopefully answer a little bit of your question, not completely. Yeah, go back and forth. I don't know. Difficult to answer. Yeah, to me, so recite Buddha's name because we sigh because to me sometimes because we feel suffer. We still suffer, so that's the reason we recite Buddha name. Like to find a way, even just first in the mind, to calm our mind down and hopefully to be reborn in the Western Bliss Pure Land. But I think the purpose is more than that. Because the result of recitation, I heard that because the Pure Land is it's just not a nice place, because the Buddha is there, and he have a lot of Bodhisattvas and the sages there. So that is like imagine you can compare our world and that world. So go in there. I remember I made an analogy like we were in Vietnam. A lot of people in Vietnam, and they want to go to the U.S. Their heaven there. So they have the desire to come to go to live in a better place. At least something like that. So we not just recite Buddha name because we try to calm our minds. Not enough. If we recite successfully, and if the Buddha come and take us over there, we live in a much better environment. So it's like our they are special gift for us. So I think we have recite with a better perspective. Anybody have the same kind of thought? So what time do we do the lunch offering? Sorry, I need to know the time. Like 10:20, right? We do lunch offering, right? Okay. Thank you. Okay. Yeah, number 7, please.
Before I met Master, my grandfather and my grandmother passed away. And when I went to the funeral service, I couldn't contain myself. I just kept crying. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't until I met Master that he said we need protection. Mm-hmm. So when Master was doing the funeral service, everyone was really calm. Mm-hmm. So that's one way that I realized that Master's different than the other monks or nuns that does ceremony.
Yes.
Another incident was when there was somebody that passed, and at the time I was really busy with the funeral service, so I didn't have closure. I didn't get to see him in person. And then one day I was talking to somebody and I said, I just don't feel like he's gone. I feel like he's still alive because there wasn't closure for me. And then one morning right when I was about to wake up, there was like a radio wave. And then I saw this person sitting. He was dead, but he was sitting. So I said, why, are you dead or alive? And he said, I'm dead. And then I woke up, and then again, it was like a radio wave, and he just disappeared. And then it gave me closure. So when I made that comment, it was like not that long, and then he came. So I feel like he was in the Pure Land. And he felt very peaceful. He was dead, but he was really peaceful. So it confirmed, my faith towards Master became stronger because of incidents like that. But Master never promotes himself.
Yes.
So it's more just based on our experience.
Yes.
And I know in the past, when someone does pass and they have visions or something, whatever it is, Master usually says, who was the closest to this person? So they're the ones that usually receive the signal from that person. It's things like that. Okay.
Yeah, thank you for your comments. Okay. I had some want to talk, but I forgot. Yes, number one, please.
Master Z, I was just thinking about things that Master has said to us in regards to the question of the gentleman at DTT. I think I remember Master saying that they would use up a lot of blessings if they went from Pure Land and visited us a lot. So I think it's not something they can do all the time, because they would use their blessings up. And of course, they want to continue working on their cultivation in Pure Land. So I think we need to consider that if they're able to do that, that it's really wonderful, but not to expect that they could come back and forth a lot, because that might affect them negatively.
Yes, thank you. Oh, Ahum, in the back, please.
Master, so I'm a bookworm, exactly the same thing as you say in Amitabha Sutra, that I've heard those beings who was born in Western Bliss Pure Land, in the morning when the flower fall down, they pick up the flower, then they offer to the Buddhas in 1E Kotu something, and into billions of Buddha lands. And after that, they just come back in an instant at lunch, and they eat and they walk around. So if they have that kind of spiritual mind, then meaning they can also come and visit us. It was just my opinion based on the sutra.
Yeah, I see. Thank you for your comment about that. Yes. Our Master C in Go For It, do you have any knowledge and experience about people going back and forth to share with us? Maybe not.
Di Đà Phật.
Dạ thưa thầy, Di Đà Phật.
Cái người đó mà trở lại đó thì tôi không có biết, nhưng mà mình nhớ cái câu mình đọc trong cái lễ mà giảng sanh đó: qua khai kiến Phật ngộ vô sanh. Tức là những người nào đã tới trên cõi cực lạc gặp Phật A Di Đà rồi thì họ ngộ cái lý vô sanh. Cũng như thầy Vĩnh Hóa giảng mỗi tuần đó, chúng ta đọc cái khai kinh đó, realize non birth đó. Thì ra đó họ đâu còn mê muội như mình mà chấp vợ, chấp chồng, chấp của, chấp kể mà trở lại nữa. Họ ngộ cái lý vô sanh, tức là đắc đạo rồi. Thì trở lại nếu vì cái duyên gì đó độ mình hay gì họ trở lại thôi. Chứ không phải mà tới lui thăm như vợ chồng, anh em, mà còn cái quyến luyến, cái mê muội lúc đầu nữa. Thường cái người mà đã giảng sanh rồi, họ ngộ cái lý vô sanh rồi. Hoa khai kiến Phật ngộ vô sanh. Khi mà lên tới đó, cái bông sen vừa nở là mình thấy Đức Phật, mình ngộ cái vô sanh rồi. Không còn mê mù như chúng ta bây giờ. Nên cái lý mà trở tới trở lui thăm vợ chồng là không có đúng. Nhưng mà có thể là vì cái duyên lại để trở lại độ cho cái người kia, chẳng hạn như vợ thầy, cho thầy nghe cái mùi đó là để nhắc nhở, hoặc là để là cảm ơn thầy lúc mà bà đã chết thì thầy giúp đỡ hay cái gì đó. Để mà cho thầy có niềm tin. Thành ra nó khác với cái cỡ lại mà cái thế gian chúng ta quyến luyến nhau, hai cái đó nó khác.
Cảm ơn thầy. Hùng, please translate to Vietnamese.
Emitofuo, I don't remember much. However, there is a phrase in the rebirth ceremony that we recite for dedication after the lecture, which said, when the lotus flowers opened, you see the Buddha immediately certified to the non-production. So, meaning that whoever was able to see Amitabha Buddha when they born to Western Bliss Pure Land, they will enlighten to the principle of non-production. Therefore, these people don't have the confusion and attachment. So why do they need to come back and forth? What is that for? I don't think, in my opinion, that they are attached to their relatives. Therefore, they have to come back and forth in a frequent way. They are not confused like us. Therefore, in principle, it should not be that way. However, I think when they come back to let us know that they're here is because they want to cross over us. They wanted to bring faith, give us some sign, and strengthen our faith. And that is what I'm thinking. It's not about attachment between their relative or family at all.
Thank you, Master C, about your teaching. It's very profound. I like all of it. Lighten up my mind. Thank you very much. And I think it's time for us to do the lunch offering. So thank you everyone for joining the assembly and Dharma talk this morning. Emitofuo.